This is Recruitment Agency Ignition with Andy Whitehead. Helping you build your recruitment employment business fast. Using digital and automation and one-to-many systems, tools, and inbound strategies.
Cool. Well, welcome to this week's Inner Circle. We are on a 30-day sprint. So all of you on the call right now, every single one of you, I want you to do the following. I want you to grab a piece of paper. Grab a piece of paper. You can do it on your notepad. Doesn't matter. I want you to draw the following. And again, if you don't do this, more for you. Can't stress this enough. This is the most important metrics. Virtually every single time I speak to someone and they're like, oh, I'm stuck because of this, or we can't scale because of this. This is normally the number one constraint as to why we're stuck. Now, of course, there are peripherals around it, but we need to, if this isn't flowing every day without you, this should be working without you. If it's not working without you, then you're building your business on quicksand. So I want you to draw the following chart. And some of you might take a deep breath and go, oh, Andy, not again. You always ask me this. Yep. In the same way we have a shower every single day. In the same way that we go to gym and we work our muscles every single day. Basics count. So what I want you to do is this. I want you to draw the following. Client side. Now you might have 10 different types of client. You might have 100. I really don't mind what it is at the moment. I want this simple number from you. I want this one number. In my market, there are how many clients? And again, those who did this in London a couple of weeks ago, we're going to literally be doing this now in 5 minutes and we've done. Market. So in total, there are 20,000 clients. So a client is this. We've got organization, we've got ABC engineering, and inside ABC engineering, there are 3 line managers, 1 HR director, and 1 CEO. So that's 5 clients. So your formula is org multiplied by decision makers equals your number. So how many organizations are in your niche? Judy, how many organizations are in your niche? There's 5,000. How many decision makers are in each organization? Who could hire you? There are 2. Okay, that's 10. So in the market, how many are there in total? So you've got a number there. Could be 20,000. Now, in your database, how many are there now? In your database. So your database could be, so your VA is building a list, you're using whatever tool. Could be using the DIY client candidate database build, but you're using a process. In your database says how many? There's 2,000. Great. So what's our gap? Well, very simply, 20,000 minus 2,000 equals my gap is 18,000. Great. Now action, that 18,000. What's being done to build this gap now? What are you doing to build this gap now? What's the primary action? I don't want 7 actions. I've got 24 VAs and they're doing it. What's the one action? So in summary, I've got a VA, they're using, or I've got, and it's adding X amount per, what? What's your action? And how many per week, how many leads per week are you creating? So you might be creating 1,000 leads per week, so it's going to take 18 weeks to fill that gap. You might be doing 9,000 a week, so in 2 weeks you fill that gap. So you've got 3 numbers there, and you've got a number per week. Next. Candidate side. Again, market. How many candidates in there? Rough figure. You don't need to know exactly. Roughly is 100,000, Andy. Great. In your database, how many are there? Well, it's roughly 10,000. Gap. 90,000. Roughly, we're adding 1,000 per week. 1,000 per week to our candidate database. Cool. It's going to take us 90 weeks. We've got it covered off. So first of all, I just want to know, what's your gap? What's going on? So Tracy, I'm going to unmute you shortly. What's your figures? So client side, candidate side. Next. Go scroll the page. Next. Last 30 days. And let's use it could be any platform. Let's say last 30 days, you sent how many messages to the client side? You sent how many messages to candidates? Sent how many Could be invitations, could be messages, could be both, to the client side. Sent again to the candidate side. So talking about the last 30 days, talking about 20 business days, maybe 25 days. So I'd expect you to have a number here. I'd expect you to have a number here of minimum of you sent 2,000 message ones to clients and a minimum of 2,000 to the candidates. Maybe 1,000 to the client, maybe 1,000 to the candidate. Those are sort of minimum figures I expect you to. So in a minute, when I unmute you, you can be asking questions. Andy, I'm not getting the clients in, not getting the candidate. Great. What's your metrics? So these are the metrics to recap I want you to get. I'm going to make it nice and simple for you. Nice and simple for you. This is your A metric. What's your client metrics? This is your B metric. Your candidate metrics. This is your C metrics. What you've been doing in the last 30 days. This is your D metrics. You're doing the last 30 days. Now, there can be some context around each of these. We want you to get these numbers written down. So when I ask you, bam, there's a lot of you on the call. We need to be respectful of everyone's time. But here's the lesson. As we found out in London, there's probably 3 or 4 solutions to 30 people's questions. It's going to be the same principle here. Factor of 10, if not 20. So these are the numbers I want you to have ready to hand. My market is what? My database is what? My gap is what? For client side. Same again for candidate. Last 30 days, I've sent X, I've sent Y. So you can be, Andy, I've sent out 3,000. I've got no leads in. Great. You know what the constraint is. Or I've sent out 200 and I've got 5 leads in. I haven't got enough leads. Okay. So what about if we 10x that? You'd have 50 leads. So does that give you what you need for the next 30 days? Yeah, maybe. Okay, great. We know the constraint. I want to get those 4 numbers together. A, B, C, D. Your A, your B, your C, and your D. I think my screen's stuck. My apologies, guys. Let me refresh that for you. So A, market, 20,000. 20,000 clients. Database, there's 2,000. The gap is 18,000. Action. To build that database, we're doing what? And we're adding 1,000 per week. Candidate, there's 100,000 in the marketplace. There's 10,000 in our database. Got a gap of 90,000. We're using X tool, X process, adding 1,000 a week. So 9 weeks, I've got our candidate market completely boxed off. A and B. C, last 30 days, we sent X amount, 2,000 messages to clients. We sent 2,000 to candidates. Our D, we sent 1,000 invitations. We sent 1,000 messages, whatever variable's going to be for you. So client marketplace. Market, database, gap. Candidate, total market is X. So all of you have done this in your game plan. Every single one of you have done this. And it would have been either action 3.1 for you in your game plan, or, depending on the game plan I created for you, it might have been action 4.1 or 5.1. But it would have said the most important in numbers. So every single one of you on the call has gone through this process. So we've got our A number, our B number. So this is the size of the market. This is the size of our database. This is the gap. And then we've got our activity number. In the last 30 days, we have done what? We have done what? Now, we're not talking about cool projects, nurturing and scaling. I want to get focused on, right, numbers. What jumped out in London is that we've got consistency of inaction. And some of the numbers that came out, one of the people in the room in London, I can't remember who it was, it's John, or said that they worked out every single message they sent equated to £185. So they sent out X amount of 1,000 and they brought in 400,000 worth of business. They reverse engineered it. And then Simon from Australia said for every 100 candidates he picked up, he got 1 new candidate worth, I can't remember what number was, Simon from the call, 14K. And he hadn't been doing it for the last month or 2. Why? Because he couldn't get the data. So he's gone back to the dark old days. So I want these base numbers from you. So if your activity is, well, in last month we sent nothing, why? We've got a constraint to fix. If you've been sending 5,000, you haven't been getting the leads in, we've got a constraint we can fix. But I want these base numbers from you, A, B, C, and D. So let me know, guys. Does that make sense? Any questions?
Discover how to build your recruitment employment agency using one to many automation, and inbound strategies before anyone else in your market specialization. Check out recruitmentmarketinginternational.com.